Hello. Um, Good afternoon. And so today I'm going to do a video on protecting your energy. So this video is going to be all about how we can protect our energy, protect our space, and also ways we can cleanse when we feel like there might be some negative energy attachments that could be ours or could be someone else's. So we're going to look in different methods and different ways. I decided to do this video because I've had a few people now who are noticing that they're coming into their intuitive, spiritual side. They've maybe carried abilities since they were young, and the fear is now starting to dissipate. And now they're aware of other people's energies, and they're aware of any spirits that may be around them also. And so it's really important as we go through these new shifts, how the veil is becoming very thin, and how our moods and the energy, the vibration that we're holding can encourage, I don't know if that's a good word to use, but can encourage sometimes the attraction of these, I don't even want to say negative energies, I'll just say, or lower vibrational energies and entities. And so first of all, I just want to, what should we go into? First of all, we'll go into visualization, how you can protect yourself through visualization. And so one of the main techniques I used when I first started was to visualize myself when I woke up. I would close my eyes and I would visualize. I do it now when I do meditations. If you've done a meditation with me, you know that I get the cloud to come within and then expand from the body. But I would do that. I would take this white light in through the body. This is something you can do, and then expand it and create a protective bubble around yourself. And so I visualize that way. Now I visualize, another way is I create an armor around myself, and I love this way because it's so cool. Create your armor to look however it wants to look, whatever material. It could be made out of metal, it could be made out of crystal, feathers, whatever you want. Just create this armor around yourself, and this is your protective armor. So this one I tend to put on when I feel like I'm going into a space that might hold some negative energies for me to be absorbent of. So they're two visualization techniques. With visualization, it's totally down to you. There's just two techniques that I've given you. As you know, with thought, it creates. And so by thinking, we are creating this force shield around us to keep us safe within it, and also to protect whatever's coming towards us, to act as a shield to whatever's coming towards us. So visualization is the strongest technique. Well, not the strongest, but it requires nothing but your mind, which is always on you, you know. So it's very personal to you. So use your imagination, go wild with it, and just see what pops up, what your intuition brings. As with everything like this, there is no right or wrong way, and you don't have to listen to anything I'm saying, and you might find that something else works better for you. And so I'm just looking at my notes because I've had to do notes today. Another way is when you first wake up in the morning. This is more of a cleansing. is to have a cleansing shower. You can do this before you go out. You can do this at night or in the evening to cleanse away the day's energies. And so as you're under the shower, you just want to visualize the water coming down on you, and as the water comes down on you, visualize that the water, as it touches your skin, it's washing away, and you can put a colour with it. We always like to use nice bright white light. It's very pure, divine light to cleanse and wash away any dark. If you imagine any darkness that's just running off you and going into the sinkhole and away. And so we can use this, which is a really nice daily exercise that we can do. It can make sure that we're thoughtful, we're mindful of keeping ourselves protected, mindful of cleansing the energies. We're mindful of the energies around us. It really brings this into consciousness. It brings in the fact that every interaction, I don't think it has to be doing with being an empath. I think everyone's an empath. So I don't really think it has to do with being an empath as such. It's really to do with how open you are, your sensitivity to being receptive to other people's energies. If you don't have them boundaries in place, then as a glowing, shining light, you will attract them moths. So yeah, and another way of using water, and water is so very cleansing, and also through African spirituality and through others, water is the connection between the visible and the invisible realm. So it's really something we can draw power from and use it to cleanse ourselves. So another way is also by having a bath, and you can put herbs in like rosemary, sage. You can also use essential oils. Pick what you intuitively, I have them all out and I will pick what I need. You can use the rosemary, sage, tea tree, lemon. There's plenty out there which are great for cleansing. These baths are amazing. Just be careful you don't block your bath up. If you are using fresh herbs, sieve them out of the bath before you let the bath down. Because I've had some herbs coming up through the overflow plug, sometime after. So that's another way. It's a really nice relaxing one, all set with intention. Lay some candles out for yourself. When you have this bath, lay some candles out for yourself. When you're sat in the bath, really sit there and think also what no longer serves you and what you want to wash away. But also use the strength from the water and from those herbs, the power from it to cleanse you, to give you a real nice deep cleansing. And so the next one is smudging. So I'm just going to go and grab my stuff. So I'm back. I just had to pause that to gather all my bits. So with smudging, there's lots of ways you can smudge. There's sage. That's why I forgot to get the sage. Let me go and get the sage. And so there's sage. I don't use sage too often now, but you get sage usually in a big stick, and what I like to do, I don't tend to burn it from the stick. I have a little bowl which I use, and when people used to come round, I just move this down a bit. When people used to come round, I would hold the bowl and use my breath, because breath's very important. It's probably an aid you can use to smudge as well. that I would blow it and smudge them. I have feathers now, but we'll go into that. So I would break it off, crumble it off and burn it and do it that way. Totally down to you how you go about and do it. Whatever resonates. If burning on the stick's your thing, then burn it on the stick. I just got told that by doing so it fuses the energies that you're trying to clear, and then if you go and use it again, it's going to carry them energies on. So I tend to just break it off, and it lasts longer as well. It's quite easy to put in a bowl and then just light it and burn it. A really easy method is with a joss stick of cleansing. So burning joss sticks. And it doesn't tend to matter what one, but obviously white sage, dragon's blood, Palo Santo. These are the sort of scents that we know will work as a smudge. And so you can have joss sticks burn in your home. These are really good for cleansing the home. So for me, I go through so many of these charcoal discs. For me, I like to, when I'm smudging, let's just burn this. I like to use the heavier, smokier sources of smudge. So, burn my finger. Right, what we got? So here, I have Copal, that's what I call it. And it's resin from tree sap. And so I use this. Smokes very strongly. I'll put some on in a minute so you can see. And this is also Copal. This is from Peru. This other one, and this is black Copal. And I tend to use this one if I've got quite a heavy ceremony or someone needs cleansing. I just work intuitively, and I'll be guided by spirit as to what one I need to use. And so we have those. I'm going to wait for the charcoal to settle down, and then I'm going to burn it so you can see. And they also do Palo Santo. I have Palo Santo. It's getting a bit endangered now. I have the sticks. I use this as a bit more, rather than a smudge, like a cleansing smudge, I'll use it more to power up, to energize. And this is a really nice sweet smelling wood. So if you don't like sage, you can get white sage also, but if you don't like the smell of that, the Copal's really good for that. The black Copal's got a bit more of a denser, more of a masculine smell, whereas the Copal's a bit more of a sweeter lemony smell. And then I have, this is Palo Santo, so the resin from the tree sap. Same way, oh that smells lovely. I'll use it as an energizer. And so what I've got my charcoal in, give it a little help, try and get, when you're burning you want to really wait for it to go grey before you put anything on it. Also, if I'm doing ceremony, I will, I'll use tobacco, not cigarettes. I'll use cigars, and I found that's great for if you're into doing ceremonies. I find when I'm working with plant medicines, it's really good to, it'll clear the space around me and protect me from any unwanted energies that are out there. So yeah, I will use cigars for that reason. And I also, if I'm working with people, I'll blow it on them. There is the Native Americans and Peruvians, and actually most indigenous tribes will use tobacco to cleanse, pure tobacco, known as mapacho, and so they'll use that to smoke and cleanse people and use it as a medicine to heal also. So we have that. So we're just going to wait for the charcoal, and as we wait for the charcoal, I'm also going to introduce to you more of the witchy ways of protection. So I'm just going to show you a couple of, I reuse jars all the time. So I have myself a really nice herb cupboard in the kitchen. And so I'm going to introduce you to Angelica Root. And Angelica Root, as it says in it, angel, you know, Angelica Root, so it's got angel in it, and this can be used for protection in a room, and you can put this in the four corners of the room, and it will protect that room by angel protection. And so you have that herb, which is really great if you make mojo bags up, if you're working with herbal witch magic, and then that's a really great one. And then you have blackthorn, which is known, taking it everywhere, blackthorn, which is known as the strong, great, protective. So that's blackthorn root there, and that's a really good protection if you're traveling in the realms, or if you want to protect your home, if you're worried about any spirits, you can use it. Put it in a mojo bag, put it under your pillow, carry it around you. Really good for carrying around you to protect yourself from any negative energies. There are two that you can use. And so I'm just going to show you how the copal works as a smudge. It's nearly grey. And so it starts to melt. Starts to melt and bubble. And I just prefer this one because it's so much more smokier. Especially when you're smudging yourself, you don't have to keep relighting it like sage. If you're doing a room in your home, it just burns for a lot longer. If you're smudging your power items, or like if I'm working with people, then I'll smudge all the blankets. It just burns. It's a lot more thicker smoke. But you could, you know, if you're going out, when you get in, come in and cleanse everyone's energies off yourself. And here is a fan that I make. So I use this during ceremony as a smudging fan. And so I think they're usually smaller than this, to be honest, but I use this to smudge a person. So you can use either your breath or the power of the life force of the bird. I will start making some of these and selling them, I think. There's a lot of energy that goes into it. So there you have it. There's some of the smudges we've got. I've got a little bit of Palo Santo here, so I'm just going to light it and show you a way of you want to really get the bark burning. And a bit like the Angelica Root and the Blackthorn Root, you can create your own protective incense. You can use that and mix it with a copal, grind it up in a mortar, pestle and mortar and pestle, grind it up, add some more bits. Oh, there's one more thing I have to show you as well. So, it's not really lighting it that well, to be honest. Let's get a flame going on this. It's quite well used, this one. So what I'll do is light it off, as you can see. And after smudging, I'll use this just to bring the energies back to myself and just rebalance and power myself up. So we have them methods. I also use Florida water, and this is a great one to have. I put this in my, I use it if I'm washing my floors. I also put it in the hands and give my auric feel to cleanse, and you feel your energy and you feel it really cleansing you off. And I'll also use it to cleanse around the room. I have a tool that I use to cleanse the four corners of my room and protect the space. There was also something else. Also, holy water. Sounds, you know, anything that carries that sacred vibration is going to help. And you can actually make your own holy water. So I have an iron cross because it's a very protective symbol, and I'm not religious, but it's a very protective symbol. I use a lot of religious icons in the house because I work with voodoo, and the ancestors would work with saints and other stuff to hide the Loas or the Orishas that they were working with. And so as I work with spirits, my spirits like these representations of these icons, and so on their altars I'll make them happy and have I have these little, I think Jesus is up there somewhere, and I've got some crosses, but this cross is a Greek cross actually, and I like it because it symbolises the different elements. But yeah, I can put this in with boiling water and bring the water to the boil, wait for it to take it out, wait for the water to cool down, and I have myself some iron cross holy water. And so you can also buy some. I have some beautiful water which I use in my healing, Marie Laveau healing potions, and I'm going to stick that on there, Palo Santo. And you can also stick your Palo Santo on there. And so holy water, really great. Which leads me on to the next form of protection, is prayer. Whether it be the Lord's Prayer, the Hail Marys, whether it be a shamanic prayer, four corners, or just a personal prayer, working with that frequency, working with that vibration is really going to help to protect your home, protect yourself. It's really having that belief and that faith and that trust in the frequency that's out there towards the sacred. The ancestors would have used it, the ancients would have used it, you know, working from that heart space. Oh, I love just sitting there and praying to my ancestors or the angels, just coming from a real heartfelt place. And I would say that's a really, really good form allowing yourself that intimate relationship with the invisible world, in protecting yourself and your space. So we have that. So I had to go. Another way of protecting your space or cleansing is through sound. As I mentioned before, we are vibrational beings that are vibrational, energetic beings and respond to energy and frequencies around us. So a sound is a really good way of clearing the space. And so you don't necessarily need to have a sound bowl to do this. In fact, I use this mainly to tune up. For sound healing. But I just wanted to get the point across of frequencies. We're made up of water, and we respond really well to sound. And so I have this rattle, and I don't know where I got it from. I never knew it would be my main power rattle, and so it doesn't break, I've like adapted it and made that if I'm working with someone, I tend to use the rattle first. And so you can use these items of sound within your home to clear your space. Whether it's a bell, clapping your hands. I think the reason why I've got so many bracelets, if I've not get anything with sound around me, I know that I can always do my sound healing and cleanse if I'm working with someone. And as I said before, the breath held with our intention is such a good cleanser as well. If you've got a pack of cards, I always, if you're into doing oracle cards, I always 3 times to cleanse my cards, remove the energies that they were used for before. There is a lot of cleansing things. I don't realise how much I do. Another way, you don't need anything this big, but I have it this big. It looks so angelic, doesn't it? It's this Selenite. It's really good for cleansing your crystals, cleansing space. You can get Selenite wands, which are a lot smaller than this. But I think my Selenite one's upstairs. So it's just this one I'm going to show you. Selenite, black Tourmaline, obsidian. These are some of the crystals that you can use to keep on you or in your home to protect your space, absorb the negative energy around you, and bring peace of mind. And looking at my list, I think that is it. There's probably a whole lot of other things, but what I will say as we draw towards the end of this is, if you're allowing these negative energies to come through into you, also be aware of your boundaries and who you have got around you in your space. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be strangers that bring these negative energies upon us, or these low vibrational energies upon us. It can also be those who we have around us. We might be given too much and not put them boundaries in place and draining ourselves. I've shown you how to smudge and cleanse, but it's also re-energizing ourselves after, filling ourselves back up. And I shall do a video on how we can do that, how we can remain grounded, and how we can keep our energies balanced. But yeah, so thank you and I hope you can carry some of these tips and tricks of what I use. If I start to use anything more, I'll begin to tell you. But really, this is individual to you. Whatever resonates with you, go for it. You know, all the things I brought forward. Whatever resonates, pick it out. You might have more stuff come through to you as I'm talking, or be well aware that you've had information come through. You know how it works. Well, you don't, or you might not, but with spirit, they sort of give us the information. You think, oh, I thought about that. Yeah, I did think about that the other day for a minute, and didn't think nothing of it. Them little moments, that's spirit working with you and trying to give you info for your protection or what you might need. And so, yeah, thank you very much. It was great sharing all this with you, and how exciting, right? All this stuff, energy, frequencies, and how we have all this at our disposal to make sure that we keep our vibrations remaining high. So take care.